Hey guys, welcome back to KCF Conversations, and today I am joined by Tom Rochat.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Tom, how long have you been here at Kitsap CrossFit now?
3 or 4 months?
3 or 4 months. That's about what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes time slips by, and I'm like, you've only been here a couple months, right? And people are like, no, I've been here 2 years, Dan.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure I didn't make that mistake. But so
Yeah.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And we'll get into kind of your backstory a little bit more, but
Sure.
what brought you in here 3 or 4 months ago?
Well, you and I have been talking through emails for a while.
True story.
Yeah.
So we've been you had contacted us significantly
Yeah.
further back than 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah. And then, like, stuff happened and had bombs blow up, and I was just like, screw it, it's now or never.
Right.
And so I just came in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how's your experience been so far?
Overwhelmingly positive.
Overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Tom's a dedicated member of our early bird 5 a.m. crew.
Yeah.
Right?
I love those guys.
Yeah. that's a unique bird that goes to that class for sure, and it's awesome. It's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
So I alluded to it, but there's some backstory here.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
So anyone who's met you or has seen you come into the gym, they know they've seen you come in with like walking sticks that you use for balance and things like that.
Yeah.
You do a whole bunch of crazy extra stuff before class and after class.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for all that. And so if you don't mind, could you share some of your backstory?
Sure. So over 20 years ago, I was an Army infantry paratrooper, jumped out of airplanes, got shot at for a living.
Jumped out of perfectly good airplanes.
And
I wouldn't say for no reason, but you did jump out of perfectly good airplanes.
It was quicker than landing.
Yeah.
So did that, sustained quite a number of injuries.
Okay.
Being the young intellectual person I was, after I got out, I just sucked it up and drove on.
Okay.
So had a lot of like leftover injuries that needed to be cleaned up, needed to be properly addressed and get therapy for and everything. And it was like, no time for that. Like, I'm strong enough. This is good.
Yeah, that's kind of that high speed, low drag spirit, though.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. That is the lifestyle. That is the mentality. That is the doctrine. That is like, this is the mindset you will have to accomplish the mission, period.
Right. Which is great for accomplishing missions, but not so good for
it's
the
great
long-term
short-term
health. Right.
Yeah, great short-term planning, terrible for long-term.
Right.
Yeah. So they say, like, beware of old men in a world where young men die young.
Yeah.
And that's, if we can get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so
what were some of the injuries that you sustained?
several gunshot wounds, shrapnel wounds, concussions.
Wait.
Okay.
He said several gunshot wounds. Not many people are like, I got shot once in the military, but like several gunshot wounds.
No,
okay. All right.
I was a lead attractor. I did good. Yeah. So shot in both legs, upper left shoulder, stabbed a couple times in my abdomen, shrapnel in my back, and then head injuries from explosions going off near my head slamming into the ground. I bounced off the side of the plane once on exit. So
I mean, typical stuff.
Yeah, typical normal
stuff. Yeah, right.
Army.
Who hasn't experienced that?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, normal stuff. Right.
What sort of limitations did that leave you with, having all those various injuries, and you've got, literally lead all over in parts of your body? Like, what types of limitations have you had as a result of that?
So when I was younger, none.
Okay.
I just, like I said, like, oh, this is pain now. This is just what I'm going to deal with every day. So, oh well. And I just kept going. Mm-hmm. Work construction jobs. Put food on the table. Now my mission was family and providing.
Right. So you're out of the Army now.
Yeah, out of the Army now. Doing that thing. Suck it up, drive on.
Yeah.
Don't know anything about nutrition. I know how to work out at like the highest level of physical fitness. And I know nothing else.
Right.
So, did that, and then over the years, my weight like went up and up and up and up and up, and my injuries played a big part in that because I didn't quite know or understand that there was still like residual stuff. Like shrapnel had been taken out at time of injury, but I still had little bits of it that they hadn't cleaned up.
Yeah.
There was like still things that didn't rehab properly, like my walk was all messed up. And I had an undiagnosed issue that was just diagnosed recently while I've been here. So, fast forward maybe 15 years, I was over 520 pounds.
So at one point you were 520 pounds.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
over 520. 520 is when I refused to get on a scale. When you got to start bringing out a truck scale, I'm done. I don't get on scales no more.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last weight that I remember was 520, and I know I gained more than that.
How long ago was that?
That was probably like 5 or 6 years ago.
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, super overweight, in pain constantly, not sleeping, just lots of issues. Limitations were like, there was no running, there was no jumping, there was no anything. It was get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep. That was my life. I don't exactly know what happened, but something clicked in me that like enough is well. So I went through college, put myself through college, started a new career, kind of started like redefining my life a bit, and I got on with a great company, and I started like being able to focus on my health more than just like survival.
Right.
So focused on my health, hired personal trainers, nutritionists, doctors, you name it, my primary care physician's awesome. So worked with them over the years. The first personal trainer I worked with, she was awesome. She was great. She kind of like helped. We were trying to figure out what was going on with my body, like what was happening, all this stuff. Nutritionist put me on this like 1,200 calorie a day diet that I stuck to religiously. That just about killed me. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad. I was 520 plus pounds, eating 1,200 calories a day, and I had that infantry mentality, that like just do what you're told.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah,
just do
like
what you're
okay,
told.
this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do, and I stuck to it. And then I was like walking with canes, and I was so weak, and blah blah blah. And I saw my general practitioner. He's like, "What the hell are you doing to yourself?"
Right.
Like eating what my nutritionist said. And he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And I showed him what I've been following. Like he fired her on the spot. He was like, "Nope, no."
So you lost weight, right?
Yeah, I lost weight.
And so this kind of speaks to something I talk about a lot, is that, and I don't mean this, losing weight's not that hard.
No.
Just don't eat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that'll work great.
But the question always has to be is, are you going to be healthier as a result?
Right.
Right. And so that's why, what we always endorse is a plan that's sustainable, that allows you to improve your health at the same time start meeting your weight loss goals. So
right.
you were on a plan that was really effective.
Oh, super effective for weight loss. Yeah, I crashed.
Didn't leave you very healthy.
No.
And actually even was
worse.
Detrimental to your health.
Yeah, I was worse off. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. So I got a new nutritionist, and we had a different approach to it. We started tackling like the psychological approach to eating.
Right.
And then I became very passionate and almost fanatical about learning about nutrition, learning about food, understanding how does this work, how does this process in your body. I think I probably drove my nutritionist nuts, but yeah, I mean, it was really great. And then I kind of, so my weight was going up, actually.
Okay.
So at this time, my weight was going up and up and up and up.
So you started at 520 plus.
Yep.
With the 1,200 calorie a day diet.
I went down to 450.
You went down to 450. So 70 plus pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost 70 pounds real fast.
Yeah,
real
I
fast.
can imagine.
Real fast.
At 1,200 calories a day, yeah.
Yeah. So got a new nutritionist. I was still working with my personal trainer, who was like, we were just trying to figure out what's going on with my body. So like, she sent me off for hydrostatic testing. And we found out like, hey, you're carrying around like 275 pounds of muscle, organ, and bone.
Right.
And I was like, oh, hey, my ideal weight of like 170, that's not very
realistic.
good.
Yeah,
That's not going to work for me.
Right.
And
which also speaks to why a 1,200 calorie a day diet
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
support
just
you,
not-
because you've got, I mean, your muscle mass eats that in about half a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, okay. And I had a lot of problems with my body. My metabolism was tanked because of poor nutrition, poor dietary habits for many years. And so I was working out. She was trying to teach me like how to listen to your body. Because like I said, I only knew how to work out up here.
Right.
Like you push till muscle failure, you run until you collapse, and you don't quit.
Right.
That was like, okay, that's how you do it.
Right. Which was great as a 24-year-old Army Ranger, but
Yeah.
not so great as at this point, 30-something 40-ish-year-old,
construction
500
worker.
pound individual who hadn't worked out in a long time.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah. So I worked with her. She was great. She taught me a lot of fundamental stuff, like how to kind of work out like down at this level, where I was. I was lifting like 5-pound dumbbells for curls and just like focusing more on cardio work and everything. So then fast forward, I kind of outgrew her, advanced beyond her scope. I went with another personal trainer. Again, just like this process of like steadily growing, learning to work out, increasing intensity and stuff. And I'd always told my doctor, because he's like, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And I was like, I want to do this CrossFit thing. And he's
where did you hear about it? Like, what was the?
Oh, I've seen CrossFit since the day it came out. I saw
back in your
I mean, I saw the puking clown icon, these crazy people. I'm like, these are my kind of people. Like, sign me up. I will drink the Kool-Aid.
All right.
Hell yes.
So you tell your doctor, this is I want to do this thing.
I want to do this thing, and he's just like, no. I mean, he's great. My primary care physician is great. He's awesome. He will always let me do whatever I want to do if we insist. But he was just like, no way.
Yeah.
Like, no way. And we had a discussion about this too, because like doctors are there to like protect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they want to protect you.
I mean, they have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, they do, and I truly believe that.
But sometimes they don't have all the information.
Yeah, and that was huge.
Right.
So, fast forward years, like this is a 5-year journey now that we're trying to.
So 5 years ago, you were talking to your physician about CrossFit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. It took me 5 years to get into here.
Got it.
I've been fighting for 5 years to get here.
Wow.
So I was like just on the cusp of getting here, and I was like working out at home now because I outgrew my trainer. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm armed with some pretty good things. I have a full-size gym at home. I have weight racks, heavy bags, a big old treadmill and bike trainers and weight. I mean, I have a whole living room that's just a gym. So like this is now like a critical component of my life.
Right.
The nutrition and, my diet was very draconic. I eat the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
It never changes. I've done that for years now.
It's probably why you and Cade work well together now, because he's the same way.
Yeah. I love Cade. So I ended up with a foot injury.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Remember, so I ended up with a foot injury. I was walking like 4 to 5 miles a day. I was actually trying to train to do a 10K, walk a 10K. Running was absolutely forbidden.
Forbidden, like told you couldn't do it.
Like doctors, like no, you're not allowed to run.
And
no.
What was the reason? Was it just the weight, or were there other issues?
Yeah, so I have a lack of feeling in my legs.
Okay.
I don't feel from my knee down.
You feel okay.
I don't feel much of anything.
Got it.
Sometimes I'll get like little faint sensations of stuff.
Okay.
But for the most part, I don't feel anything from the knee down.
And that's still sort of a mystery, right? That's not.
Yeah, we have an understanding of why that is now, but that's been a very recent thing in the past 3 months.
Got it.
Of why that is, and so that's why you see me doing these crazy exercises.
Right. So it makes sense if you can't feel anything from the knee down.
Yeah.
It's not much of a leap to think that someone would say, well, you probably shouldn't run.
Yeah, I mean, I would hyperextend my knees a lot when I would run, and then I would end up in knee braces and sprains, and so constant injury because I would try to push too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story of my life. So you and I started talking via emails. I kind of gave you this list of stuff.
Yeah.
And I said,
I still vividly remember that first email coming in. We frequently get emails that are pure scams. Not scams, but just like, they're just BS. Like, we get an email like, hi, I have 6 kids. I'd like to pay for them to come train 4 days a week. It's a known thing in our industry. It's like, haha, funny, scam, right?
Yeah.
And so your email comes in. My red flags just popped up all over the place. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, look at this email, right? And for some reason, I was like, all right, because most of them I just delete. And for some of them, I'm like, let me humor this guy. And yes, we can totally work with you, Tom.
Yeah.
Let's schedule an appointment. And I thought that would go into the ether, and I'd never hear from this person again.
Right.
And here you are.
Yeah, here I am. Yeah, so I had that foot injury.
Right.
And I was talking to you about it, and I was like, well, I need to get some more tests done and this and that, because my doctor still was not, like, on board with this whole, like, crazy CrossFit idea that I had, because they got this image of
well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, CrossFit game people.
As great as the games are, because it's a huge public face for us.
Yeah.
It freaks people out, and
Yeah,
I think
it does,
that we're all
absolutely.
trying to do that. So
Yeah. So I went to see a podiatrist about this foot issue.
yes,
And her statement was like, "Holy crap! Just like, your foot is messed up." And I'm like, "Well, thank you, doc." And she goes, but you're walking fine." I was like, "Well, I don't really feel it, but I feel pain. So if I'm feeling pain, it's got to be significant."
right.
So I had to explain to her I don't have sensation from my knee down. And so she did a little test to see like how I feel, and she's like, "Wow, you have worse feeling in your legs than a diabetic."
Wow.
And she's like, "You diabetic?" I'm like, "No, I'm not diabetic." Like, no, I just get shot there a lot apparently. So she was like, "Yeah, like you cannot walk on uneven ground at all,
Ever again."
Like no walking on uneven ground. I'm like, so that's everywhere.
Right.
And she's like, you need to start talking to your general practitioner about like getting in a wheelchair and everything. And I'm like, what? Like, whoa, like,
So
what are
she
we
said,
talking about?
She said, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Back this up a little bit. She said, "You're walking fine."
Yeah.
And then jumped ahead 2 statements and said, "You need to be in a wheelchair."
Yeah.
Or at least think about eventually
think
being in a
about
wheelchair.
Yeah, thinking about it. Like, you need to be talking to him about it. Because since I have no feeling in my legs, there's a huge risk of injury to my foot,
Right.
which can then turn into infection and then amputation and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So I was like, I don't have time for this. I want to walk a 10K. I want to eventually walk a marathon. Like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
And like I have stuff to do. So went back to my general practitioner, and I was very upset.
Yeah.
And I said like dude, I don't know what to do. I'm like, if she's saying I got to be in a wheelchair, I'm like, we just cut these suckers off. Like, get a hacksaw. I'll sit here. Get me a piece of wood to stick to. Let's just get like I used to build prosthetics and orthotics for a living. Like, we make pretty good feet. Like, they got good ones. And so that's, you and I started talking about that too. And that's when I think I was doing private sessions with you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you were making comments about how I moved.
Right.
And I said, I think this is the big difference between my general practitioner is he sees me on the table. He's examining me. He doesn't see me being athletic. He doesn't see me moving.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, when we first started, I remember the first time we sat down, and I wasn't sure who was going to walk through the door. When you came in the door, I didn't really know what to think. And then you started telling me your story, and I was like, well, this obviously sounds like something we need to start with personal training.
Yeah.
And it probably will be something that will stay as personal training forever, based on
Right.
what the story you had told me and kind of
That's
your initial presentation.
Yeah.
So then we finally get you in, and you start actually moving.
Yeah.
And my mind was blown from the perspective of the story you're telling me and the person I'm seeing moving are not the same people. And what you're telling me about what other limitations people are placing on you, they clearly haven't seen this person move, because there were definitely things that we needed to work on.
Yeah.
Right? Balance and things like that. There were definitely things that need to be worked on. But I've had people come in that I thought were less suited to do the things that we do than you. You came in right away. Like, I watched you squat. I watched you, just some of the things you did. I was like, oh, this is going to work well. And I think we had initially planned like 10 sessions with me before thinking about going to group classes.
Yeah.
We probably did the 10.
Yep.
But I bet at 3, I was ready to start cutting you loose.
Yeah. I mean, I was, we were doing the group sessions, and I would watch the big kids, as I called it. And, and like I'm watching it for them, because that's how I need to learn, especially when it comes to like the legs, is I have to watch somebody else do it, picture it in my head, and then do it, and just trust that my brain is going to tell my body to move that way.
Right. That was the other thing that impressed me right away, was that your mindset was, well, let me try. Like, I've been told I shouldn't, and so in my head I'm thinking, as a physical therapist, I'm thinking, okay, let's place some parameters and limitations here. And you're like, well, you know what?
No.
Screw it. Let me just try it. And I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea. All right, Tom, you're a grown man. Let's try this. And then you would say, wait a second, do it for me one more time so I can watch.
Yeah.
And so I would do it, and again, blown away by how quickly you picked things up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was super cool to watch. It was a fun process to be a part of.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, so we so we did the one-on-one stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah.
It felt so like freeing. Like, I was training to walk a 10K because that was all I have been told I should do.
Right.
You know, like nothing else was open to me anymore. I mean, I used to play soccer, run track, be heavily involved in martial arts, like lift weights. Like, I used to be super, super active, and those are the things that I love. And it was like, no, you're this huge guy with all these issues.
Right. You
can walk.
Yes.
And that's the extent of your exercise. And then now I was on the cusp of not even being allowed to walk.
Right.
So it was like, yeah, let me do this CrossFit thing. What's the worst thing to happen? I'm going to break my legs. You're going to cut them off anyway, so who cares? So just let me do it.
Right.
And that was my mentality moving into it. And then it was like, with you, I warned you. I was like, you're going to have to hold me back more than tell me to, try. Because I will try anything. And
I discovered that.
Yeah. But my biggest thing is I will push too hard and injure myself, and then go into injury. And then I just set myself way back. And so I was trying to just keep myself in check and kind of relying on you to show me how to do things in a safe manner, but keep me in check too. Because with not feeling a portion of my body, I don't know what it's doing sometimes.
A pretty important portion of your body when it comes
your
to like
feet.
just getting around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't have feeling in your arm, you can still get around and be safe.
Yep.
I get like the safety concern for someone who doesn't have sensation in their legs. I totally get those safety concerns.
Yeah.
And again, it was crazy to me because here you're telling me the story of I should never walk on uneven ground. I definitely can't run, and I should prepare for life in a wheelchair. And it was within the first few sessions that I actually saw you run. In this gym, you ran back and forth. I was like, hey, why don't you go from here to here?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, he's running.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I was like, don't
I'm
tell
not
my
sure
GP.
he's supposed to do this, but here we go. And I didn't stop you because you were doing it well.
Oh, thanks.
Right?
Yeah.
The other thing you did within those first 10 sessions was jump on a box.
Yeah. No, I think I was jumping on a plate.
Oh, maybe it was a plate. We started with a plate. But I think at the end, by the end of the 10 sessions, I think you were jumping with your...
Yeah, with my trek pulse. Yeah,
with your trek pulse for balance,
box.
you were jumping on an 8-inch box.
Yeah.
Which I understand that you've bested that.
Yeah. I do. I can do a 12-inch box.
12-inch box. Still with the trekking poles?
No.
Without trekking poles?
Without trekking poles.
Without anything for balance?
Well, I have them. I have them there.
Oh, I see. They just don't touch the ground.
Yeah, they don't touch the ground unless I get up there and then I start falling off the box and I put one down.
Got it.
But okay, so that leads into what I recently got diagnosed with. So this kicked off a whole slew of like tests and assessments and everything with the doctor because I was telling him, like, I was adamant. I was like, I am not willing to sit my butt in a wheelchair for the rest of my life.
Right.
Not like, no way. Absolutely, like, get rid of them. If it's that much of an issue and that much of a concern, get rid of them.
Yeah.
And so that's like whole like voluntary amputation.
Yeah.
That's
elective amputation.
Yeah,
is
like
very,
like that's just a whole nother ball of wax. So it's like, okay, let's get tests done. So I went to a neurology specialist to find out like how bad the nerve damage was in my legs. And so I did those tests and it actually came back that I only had minor nerve damage in my legs. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I don't feel this.
Right.
So then she's like, you walk weird. Thanks again, doc. I mean, I love all the doctors that help me and work with me and are willing to listen. But sometimes some of the stuff they say, I'm just like, wow, cool. You went through medical school for this. Awesome. So I was like, okay, so what? She goes, let's do some balance tests. I failed those spectacularly.
Right.
And she was like, wow, you have a whole different diagnosis than we were originally thinking. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what that means. And she goes, I think you have TBI, traumatic brain injury. And I was like, okay, well, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Right. TBI has been a hot topic now for a number of years.
Absolutely.
Anytime I see the checklist, I'm like, yes, check. I have all these issues. So she did more tests and officially diagnosed me that I have TBI.
Okay.
So the balance receptors in my brain do not function.
Okay.
The receptors in my brain that tell where my legs specifically are in space do not function. So all these crazy exercises that people see me doing, walking and moving my head and trying to dribble a soccer ball,
right.
all these are to try and retrain my brain to feel and know where my legs are as well as maintain balance. So I went through balance therapy with Kitsap Physical Therapy. Rob down there is awesome for this. And my balance really started improving drastically, in addition to the work that I was doing in here.
Because prior to coming in and starting here, we were talking about you had a history of falling down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
all the time.
Regular occurrence. How often were you falling?
Once every, I'd go walk for a couple miles and I'd get out a mile or two. And then after that, it was probably once a mile or once every half mile I was falling. It was pretty regularly.
Okay, so we're not talking once a month or once a week.
No.
Like that.
Multiple
times a day.
A day.
And you started doing this balance training at Kitsap Physical Therapy.
Yep. But first I was in here for about a month.
So before you started the balance training?
Yeah, before I started the balance training.
Got it.
Before I started the balance training, I just started seeing results after the first month of the personal training session with you. I wasn't falling anymore. I mean, I was just stronger in my legs and my hips, kind of more confident in my stride.
Right. And at the same time, we started tweaking some of your balance.
Yeah, we did.
Exercises,
we started doing some balance stuff.
And then also the timing of when you were doing your balance exercises.
Yeah. So, you talked to me about this white paper about intense cardio workout and people doing balance therapy, and that people doing balance therapy tend to see increased results doing their balance therapy right after intense cardio workout.
Right after the workouts,
Yeah, and it's like, oh, hey, I do that. I do intense cardio workout here.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, imagine that. So I just started doing my balance training exercises to retrain my brain to, figure out where my feet are in space and my balance and stuff, which is why people see me do all these wonky exercises after the workout.
Right.
So I started doing that.
And so after incorporating that kind of stuff in, what types of results have you seen with your balance?
I mean, drastic improvement. I don't fall anymore.
Okay.
I don't
at all.
I don't remember the last time I fell. Last time I fell was before I was here. Maybe a week or two.
We're talking about multiple falls a day to now. I can't remember the last time I fell.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And you've been here 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I've been falling. I have a stumble here and there, but I don't hit the ground.
Got it.
So I can catch myself pretty regularly now.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. We'll get to this in a moment, but I know that over the last couple of months, your strength has improved.
Yep.
Your endurance has improved, all those types of things. And those are really, really important things to see improvement with. But people die from falling all the time. Yeah. Either as a direct result of the fall or as an indirect result of not being able to move very well because of injuries they've sustained as a fall. So, going from falling multiple times a day to now having not fallen in the last 3 or 4 months is a huge impact on your overall health and longevity.
Yeah, when I fall, it never occurred to me that I might not get up. I will always get up.
Right.
I do not have it in me to stay on the ground. So I'll hit the ground, I'll get up.
Right.
It's just how I go. But being able to walk around and just move and be more confident in it and not be like, oh, there's a tiny pebble, better watch that pebble. That's huge for me.
Yeah.
That gives me a lot of peace of mind.
Right. And, and I didn't see it. I wasn't even here.
Yeah.
But you had a huge accomplishment this week that kind of just plays right into this and speaks to the improvements that you've seen on Monday with the running workout.
Yeah. So the running workout, was
running/swim.
Yeah, the swim workout. Yeah, the swim workout. Yeah, Amanda was coaching. Amanda's great and she's funny and everything. And so the workout was a 400-meter run, torrential downpour. Huge downpour. 400-meter run and then handstand push-ups.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not at handstand push-ups yet. But
Yeah,
so
I love that.
Yeah. No, I'll get there. I get better. So I was doing pike push-ups off the box in between. So I had talked earlier to Coach Brian about my running issues. That I try to run, I hyperextend my knees, like I cause damage to myself and all this stuff. And like, can you teach me to run? Like all the coaches here are just so amazing and supportive and knowledgeable. And like, I'm always surprised about what they come up with when I say like, hey, I got like a old gun wound here and I can't do that. Like, how can I fix this? And they're just like, what? Okay, yeah, let's figure that out. And they just dive right in. So I was talking to Coach Brian. I was like, I need you to teach me how to run. And I've talked to him and Mike and Sean, like, hey, can you teach me how to jump? Can you teach me how to like get up from the ground? These things, because it's hard for me to know how to do that when I don't feel from my knees down.
Right.
So Coach Brian talked to me about the pose running method, and he's like, hey, Dan knows a lot about this. Talk to him. And I said, okay. So I went home, YouTubed it, YouTubed the crap out of it, and I started doing some stuff at home after workouts here, and I could squeeze it on my lunch break or whatever after work, just trying to get like the technique down and like understand how it works, and it made a huge improvement. So before, when I was running in gym, I'm not supposed to run.
You're not supposed to run.
I'm
You're
not
not even supposed
supposed
to
to
be
run.
on. You're not supposed to run. You're not supposed to be on uneven surfaces.
No,
Yeah.
not supposed to do that. So my doctor's gonna find out about this and die. I normally would like run down to the fence and back, or like walk or whatever. So Monday, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it 1 lap around, and so I made it 2 laps around, 400 meters. I was like, okay, so let me go do the pike push-ups, and so I did the pike push-ups and did it again, and before I knew it, like I ran a mile, and I was like, whoa, holy crap, that just happened.
Yeah.
Like I ran a mile, and I felt like I could do more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It was a huge thing. I was super emotional about it. I was very glad it was raining.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, right. I get it. But if we back this up a little bit, like again, you've been told by someone who's an expert in their field that you don't think about running again, don't ever go on uneven surfaces, and prepare for a life in a wheelchair. Yeah. And here you came in after only 3 to 4 months of work with us. You're running at 5 a.m. where it's pitch black. Yep. It's literally a torrential downpour out there. Yeah. There are really deep puddles, out there. It's not the best running surface. It's not even. It's pitched in one direction and the other. Yeah. And you went out there and you ran a mile. Yeah. I mean, that's outstanding. Awesome. It's almost hard to wrap your head around or put words into like how cool that is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any words of like what it meant to me. I mean, it's just a mile.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean,
but.
When was the last time you ran a mile?
17 years ago.
17 years ago. That's a pretty epic thing.
Yeah, it was. It was really huge.
And then you follow it up 2 days later with another big accomplishment.
Yeah. So, first time doing bench here.
First time in the entire time you've been here, 3 to 4 months doing bench press.
Yep. Yeah, I think I just missed bench days.
Yeah, we don't do them that often.
Yeah, so first time doing bench press. But so my old bench press workout at home, because I used to do bench a lot at home, very standard classic exercise, was 5 reps, 3 sets, 95 pounds.
So 3 reps, 5 sets, 15 reps total.
15 reps total.
95 pounds.
95 pounds, yeah.
And this Wednesday,
I did 155, 6 reps, 5 rounds.
So 30 total reps at 155, so 60 pounds more. Yeah. And you haven't done bench at all. No. Since you started here.
Yeah, no, never did bench here. I tried 175. I had Coach Sean spot me. 175, got it up 3 times, and then I was just gassed. So I went down to 55.
But before you were doing 95 for 3 reps, you actually did 175, almost double the weight. Yeah. We're getting close to being almost double the weight for 3 to 4 reps. Yeah. The old school exercise scientist in me tells you that is not how it works, Tom. You're supposed to train bench. To get better at bench, you're supposed to train bench. Right. And here you haven't trained bench at all. No. And you've almost doubled your bench press. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, and then we couple that with all the other accomplishments. So you've run a mile first time in 17 years. Yeah. You've almost doubled your bench press. Yeah. What other things have you done in here that are like, whoa, I didn't see that coming?
Yeah, so I have a 355 deadlift.
355 deadlift.
Yeah, nice. Which I didn't like. I remember talking to Cade, and he was like, how much you do? I have 355. And I looked at him, and he goes, what? And I go, is that good? And he goes, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So, deadlift. I can do knee raises now.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
Like hanging knee raises?
Yeah, hanging knee raises.
Okay.
I don't if you remember, my first group class that you chaperoned me on, as I called it, was with Sean, my very first CrossFit workout, and the workout was knee raises, and I could not do knee raises.
Wow.
I couldn't do one.
Okay.
So today was 4 sets of 15. Yeah, I did them all.
So you 60 knee raises.
Yeah.
From 0 to 60.
Yeah, 0 to 60.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
so it was good.
I know you're jumping on boxes now. Like when you and I were working together, we started on a plate.
Yep.
And then with the aid of your trekking poles, you did I think you did an 8-inch box. Like, much to my surprise and almost like dismay, like I think this. I'm probably going to lose Tom as a client right now. But you did. You jumped on the 8-inch box, and now you're jumping on 20-inch boxes.
12-inch box.
Oh, I'm sorry, 12-inch boxes.
Yeah.
20 inches is goal.
Yeah,
right?
goal. That's my goal.
But you're doing 12 inches without actually using your poles. You just have them there as like a security blanket.
Yeah, I have them there because I lose my balance because of my brain issue, right? So that the point where I lose my sight when you're in that motion in the air is when I get dizzy. Like you see it really a lot in sit-ups.
Yeah.
People always like wonder if like why I throw up during sit-ups is because I'm super dizzy.
Got it. I mean, it's a big thing for your vestibular system.
Yeah. It's huge. So it makes me super, super dizzy. So sit-ups, I will throw up. It's just, and that's probably how it will always be, but fine, whatever. I'll throw it and get back into it. But yeah, so 12-inch box jumps. I use the trek poles just for safety, so I don't go falling off into somebody else or something. Yeah. But I don't use them to help me get up there anymore.
That's amazing. Yeah. You've had all these cool new accomplishments in the 3 to 4 months that you've come here. Have you gone back to see your doctor in that time?
Yeah.
And what does your doctor think of what you're accomplishing now and what you're doing and how you're feeling and looking and all that?
Yeah, I mean the whole office there, like his medical assistant and everything. Like when I first told him that I'm doing CrossFit, because they were like, look at you, you look so good and you look strong and you're doing good. Like, and I was like, yeah, I got involved in CrossFit, and they're like, what? Like the crazy people? And I'm like, yeah, they're a little off, it's 5 a.m. though. So
it is, yes.
But the whole group is off.
I mean, the CrossFitters are off, but 5 a.m. CrossFitters are especially
They're
off.
a special breed, yeah, I love them all. But they were just like, and she was just listening to me like, what are you like, how do you do this? And I was like, it's not just the games, like that's like saying, hey, the Super Bowl is how your kid at 8 years old is going to play football. Right. Like that's not reality. Like there's everyday people doing CrossFit. Yeah. So like they scale exercises down for me. There's a definitive roadmap to a movement that you want to do. So like there's advanced movements like handstand push-ups. Right. And they will always show you like, hey, here's a movement, and then if you're not there yet, here's the scaled down version. If you're not there yet, here's a scaled down version. And then you can always go up to them and say like, hey, I can't even do the double scale down. Like, how can I get to that? And there's this definitive roadmap to get you to these advanced movements.
Right.
So I'm talking to them, and they're just like, whoa, okay, wow. And, my doctor, he's always great. He's always like supported me in what I want to do. Right. And listen to me. He does his doctor thing. He tries to protect me. Yeah, that's what that's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do. And I am deeply appreciative for that. Yeah. But he's just like, tell me about this CrossFit stuff. Like he goes, you're doing this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. And he's just like, that's so great. Keep doing it. I mean, at first he was very much like, this is not a good idea. Yes. Like, I know you're going to do it. This is not a good idea.
Against medical advice.
Yeah. Like I have gone on the record as saying, not a good idea. You're saying, I'm going to do it anyways. Right. I'm like, yeah, I kind of am. So he just goes, okay, I'll be here to put you back together. And I'm like, yep, cool. Like, that's all I want from you. Right. And he goes, yep, because that's just the relationship we have. Right. And so now, I mean, he is very supportive of it. And, I mean, he obviously sees it, I've lost a bunch of weight and, everything's looking good. I'm stronger. My balance is better. Everything's coming up positive since I started here.
That's awesome. And, and talking about like having lost weight and being supportive, when you first started here, you were also working with a nutritionist outside of here. Yeah. And I think you were fairly happy with what was going on there, right? Yeah. But at some point you decided, hey, I'd like to check out. I remember when you reached out to me, you're like, because I'm in my head, I was like, well, Tom's pretty dialed in on the nutrition side. Yeah. And then you reached out and said, I'd like to talk to your nutrition guy.
Yeah.
What sparked that? And then what kind of results have you seen from that?
Yeah. So, you guys do the body scanning, right? The weigh in, the body scanning. And that was one thing I was lacking. I was missing, just being able to track that metric, track to see how my body is doing, how much muscle mass am I gaining, how much fat am I losing. That is not something that you get from standing on a scale in the doctor's office or talking to my nutritionist. I don't like scales. I have a healthy fear of them. I don't like seeing that stupid number. That stupid number is meaningless. I have some strong opinions about scales. So I came in, talked to Cade. Cade's awesome. He's been a huge pillar in everything that I'm doing right now. And I was hoping maybe they can also give me some guidance on some variety, because I've eaten the same thing every single day for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go talk to him. So everything that Cade gave me, every little piece of paper, every document, I took to my nutritionist, and I had her go through it. And she was just like, wow, holy crap, this is amazing stuff. This is really great. He really knows his stuff. And I was just like, I'm like, yeah? And she goes, yeah, he's really good. And she goes, oh my God, you even get a meal plan with this? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. She's like, huh. And so after a couple more visits with her, she was like, you need to just work with him. He is far more knowledgeable about the kind of exercise and movements that you are doing than I am. And so he will be a better arm to guide you nutritionally to accomplish your goals in the gym.
That's awesome.
And I was like, okay. So
okay.
Done. I was like, done. Dropped her. So she was great. She was awesome. She was very, very helpful.
Yeah.
And now I just work solely with Cade, and Cade answers all my questions. And, he checks in every week and is like, how are things going? And he goes, wow, you really do eat the same thing every day. I'm like, yes, I do.
Which shouldn't be that surprising to him, because he's notorious for eating the same thing every day.
Yeah. We're like,
you're like two peas in a pod.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So
what kind of results have you seen since working with Cade?
I have more energy. I've adjusted my macros here and there. More energy, stronger. My recovery is actually way better. That's something I've struggled with in the past, was my recovery.
Yeah.
Is significantly better.
Good.
And I've lost 22 pounds.
22. Okay.
Yeah, 22 pounds.
So which is cool. I mean, 3 to 4 months, you've lost 22 pounds, which some people might go, but that's not that much weight. But
it's not.
You've lost 22 pounds while nearly doubling your bench press.
Yep.
Now running a mile for the first time in 17 years. Jumping on high boxes.
Yeah.
Being able to hang from a bar and do 60 hanging knee raises.
Yeah.
All things you couldn't do 3 to 4 months ago.
Yeah.
So you're losing weight.
Yeah.
But gaining health and fitness at the same time. Whereas previously, you were very successly lost more weight.
Oh, yeah.
But lost health at the same time.
I was in such bad shape.
Yeah.
I was so in such a bad shape. I mean, I was so weak.
Right.
And walking with a cane and could barely get upstairs. It was really bad. It's not the way to lose weight.
No, it's definitely not.
Definitely not.
So,
yeah.
Lots of great accomplishments in the last 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
But you're not done.
No.
Right? You told me before we started filming here that your goals actually have changed. And I remember when you first came in, you said, my goal, Dan, is I want to walk a 10K because they told me I can't. Yeah. And then maybe someday I'd like to walk a marathon.
Yeah, because they said I can't.
How have your goals changed now? What are you looking to accomplish?
Yeah, so my goals now, walking were my only goals because, and I did I ever show you my goal list?
I'm not sure if you did.
Oh, okay. I have a goal list that I keep, and I just kind of tick stuff off as I achieve it. But the only thing on my goal list was walking related. Because that was the only exercise I was authorized to do.
Right.
And now, there's so much more open to me. I want to hit 400 pounds on a deadlift this year. There's a Memorial Day workout where I guess you guys run 2 miles.
Oh yeah, Murph.
Yeah. I want to run 2 miles.
Nice.
I want to get into strongman stuff. I think that'd be really great for me to do, and maybe see a 350 squat.
Okay.
So.
Well, I mean, your mindset and your work ethic are not your limiters, right?
Thanks.
I mean, the only limiter you have right now is time.
Yeah.
Right. So we just need a little bit more time under your belt, and I don't see any reason why you can't accomplish those goals and more. Because again, you're someone who comes in and says, "What do I need to do?" Boom, let's do that.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, it sounds silly, but that's how you accomplish goals. What's the task? How do I accomplish it? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just do that thing.
I think at the outset we kind of were joking, you had that bull in a china shop mentality, but
Yeah.
it's kind of what you need if
Yeah.
you want to accomplish goals. Now, obviously, that has to be done smartly.
Yeah.
But it seems like so far things are going really, really well.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the coaches do a good job of like monitoring me, and they always, I feel like they always have one eye on me. Even if there's a class of like 40 people, I always feel like there's a coach there. You know, if my form starts to falter, if I start to falter, they're like, hey, you know, whether it's Amanda with wall balls, or you know Brian with squats, or you know Sean helped me on the bench, like they are always right there, and I know they do that for everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
It's
Well,
great.
I know you've expressed your gratitude many times since you've been here, and I appreciate hearing that, and I know the coaches appreciate hearing that. So thank you for that. Also, just thank you for your hard work and work ethic and all that. And I've really enjoyed watching you over the last few months, and I can't wait to see where you are. You know, a few months from now, when you hit your year mark and when you hit your 2-year mark, I think you're just gonna blow people out of the water with blow people's expectations out of the water, which is super cool.
Yeah, I mean,
and more importantly, your health is just going to continue to improve.
Yeah, if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Yeah,
So that's a true statement. So,
it's a great attitude to have too. So appreciate you stopping by,
Thank
and
you, Dan.
appreciate having you here as
Appreciate
part
it.
of our community.
Yeah,
So,
thanks, Dan. I
All right.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, have a great day.
You too.